Morning everyone! Today I want to talk about Signature Forte. Signature Forte is the first weapon you start with, well, it's your secondary. And I wanted to talk about it because, to be honest, out of all starting weapons, which is JM Castigo 44 and Stryk 7, this weapon, secondary weapon, is probably the worst out of three of them. Now, this weapon has decent stats when we look at them. You can see that the damage is decent, recoil is fine, and the accuracy is pretty decent as well with overall average stats. So what makes this gun so bad, you might ask yourself. Now, it's true that when you play with Signature Forte, you get to unlock a silencer very quickly, and overall the gun is just the average experience you can get out of secondaries. So it gives you this good experience of what to come, and it gives you enough experience to know which secondary to buy next. Now, however, when we compare this weapon to other ones, like for example the Stryk 7 or the GM Castigo 44, which are the two other weapons you start with, we start to see some major differences and some major problems. Now, if we compare the Signature Forte with Stryk 7, aka the Glock, you can see that stat-wise, Glock seems to be actually worse. There is a huge difference with accuracy and the damage. And overall the ammo is better on Glock, however, not that by much. So why is Glock better than Signature Forte? Here's the deal, Glock can have 30 bullets in a magazine at level 10. Plus, if you play stealth, Glock is a way better option since both Signature Forte and Glock take 2 to 3 hits to kill an enemy, to the head/body depending on how good you aim. So the damage doesn't really matter in this case unless you go for body shots, but even if you go for body shots, if you level up Stryk 7, you get the extended mag at level 10 and the fast pull mag at level 7, which are both very good for the gun, especially the extended mag. So when we try to compare it in combat to each other, the Signature Forte seems to be lacking in either the ammo or just overall the accuracy, making it just worse. The thing is that Stryk 7 or the Glock is very good if you are a stealth player overall, because you usually one-tap or two-tap guards to the head anyway with this weapon, and it's just with the ammo you can have with it, which if you are speedrunning, let's say 30 eyes, and you have 30 bullets in a magazine in a Glock, that's going to last you to the entire heist, no problem. While on the Signature Forte, since the accuracy is worse, you might miss your second shot, while on the Glock, it's not that much likely. So definitely Stryk 7 seems to be the winner here. But what about the GM Castigo 44, aka the Revolver? The thing is with Revolver is that it takes 1 to 2 hits to the head to kill an enemy. Keep in mind that in PayDay 3, all enemies have the same amount of HP on every difficulty, meaning the weapon will do the same damage no matter what. And in this case, this gun is just very fun to use and very good if you are a loud player. The only problem with it is that you can only kill potentially 2-3 enemies, if not more, depending on how good your accuracy is, because of the 6 bullets in the chamber. This weapon does not have an upgrade for the chamber, so you're stuck with 6 bullets. However, what we have to keep in mind is that this weapon is a secondary, meaning you won't use it all the time. If you play with a shotgun, this weapon will be great since you can just pull it out, kill the enemy that's too far away really quickly, and go back. So out of the starter options, the Castigo overall, since it's a secondary, seems to be just a way better option than Signature Forte simply because it has more power. Now, of course, the thing with Castigo is that it is a loud-only weapon. It cannot have a silencer as far as I know. So in this case, if you're a stealth player, Signature Forte is just better because, well, I mean, you need a silencer if you want to play stealth with a pistol. But if you're a loud player, there is just not much of a reason to go with Signature Forte over, well, the GM and Castigo, or even just Stryk 7, the Glock, since if you play with the Glock long enough that you unlock the extended magazine, it wins on almost every front, and the GM and Castigo, since it's a secondary, it will just perform better because of the damage. making the Signature 40 basically useless once you reach a certain level. Now, of course, don't get me wrong, I think Signature 40, like as I said previously, just all average weapon. It has average damage, average accuracy, it's just average in everything what it does. But the problem is that in PayDay 3, a lot of the guns have something unique about them. For example, you have the Scar that does a lot of damage, but then again you have the Chinese rifle that I cannot think the name of, that is just very fast and has basically no recoil, so you can just spam it. And this is basically a template we see in PayDay 3 quite often, and sometimes you have that average weapon like CAR4 Signature 40 that can be good if you enjoy playing with it and you have the right mods. In fact, they can be very good, but the thing with Signature 40 is that it's outshined in almost every way by a different weapon very early on. I mean, of course, when you play with the Revolver, you unlock guns like the SP Model 11 way later on, that overall is, in my opinion, a better option to go with, since it has similar stats, but it's just better. But then again, you know, this is a video game, so you will do the best if you are having fun. So of course, if your favorite weapon is Signature 40, I'm happy for you, because I will be honest, I enjoyed playing with this pistol a lot. The only problem is that I realized is that, in my opinion, the gun needs just a little bit of a buff to make it a bit more distinct over other weapons, especially since you get to unlock the Glock so early on. So yeah, that's everything I have for you today. Remember, if you're using this weapon, I'm not going to hate you or anything like that, of course. As long as you're having fun, go for it. I mean, I'm the kind of a guy who played with the CAR4 at max level with getting no XP whatsoever, but I just love the gun so much that I just played with it because it was, well, fun. So yeah, that's everything I have for you today. If you liked the video, I will appreciate if you like or subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.